All right, guys. After a month hiatus, males and females, this is the DrewCast, episode 136. I'm glad to be back, guys. Like I said, I took a month off. I needed like a mental health break. I know a lot of people say that, but in the creator space, it's important to take care of yourself because if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to, right? I'm your host, Mellow15, and joining me today, my disembodied voice who is going to be co hosting with me for a while, hopefully a long time. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yeah, so I'm Sam. I'm pretty new to this podcasting thing, but me and Andrew, we've been good friends
Yeah,
for a while here at work, so
yeah.
we have pretty good chemistry. So we wanted to just see what would happen because we think we got this chemistry. So
Oh,
I'm
we got
excited to
good
be
chemistry,
here.
bro. We got good chemistry, dog.
Oh yeah,
And it's gonna. I think it's gonna translate well on camera. So,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
one of the things I'm actually excited for is when you mentioned the chemistry part. The one of the things that I feel like the podcast was missing the last maybe year or two was just the engagement.
Exactly.
We need a. It's entertainment first and foremost, right? When it comes to podcasting, you're entertaining people. They're listening to you. And for the most part, yeah, it was like a lot of the episodes were just me, but it feels good when like you're talking to somebody, right?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, I want you guys to welcome Sam with open arms. Like I said, he'll be co-hosting with me from now on. And he's also planning on doing his own channel stuff and stuff. So once he starts that up and gets that going, you not only can you catch him here, but we're gonna start. He's gonna start doing stuff on that. We're gonna you. This guy is a crazy knowledge about MMA and basketball, dude. You know what I mean? So if you guys are like into that, which I know a lot of you are, because I checked the stats, so a lot of our viewers are males,
Right.
obviously. So like if you guys are into MMA or even females too, but I know there's some female MMA fans, maybe
There's a surprising amount actually.
yeah. So, but yeah, once he starts that up, there's gonna be different avenues to watch and listen. So, but yeah,
Yeah, we
the
we have big plans, so
yeah,
we're excited.
or how Trump would say, huge.
Huge
We have
plans.
huge plans.
Huge
Huge,
plans.
huge plans. To start off today, though, guys, there was something I read online recently, and I know me and you talked about this, Sam, a little bit at work, but I didn't fully talk to you about it because we got to save it for the pod.
Exactly. Pod time.
But so when it comes to the apps, right? Like Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, all that stuff. Um, there's never really been like a ban on password sharing before, right? Like you could share your password, and some people have different houses, right? Like some people have a house here, and hey, I have a house in Vegas, right? And so the password, like the banning of password sharing, has always been like a controversial topic because hey, how am I supposed to watch it at my second house, right? Which a lot of people don't have that problem.
I wish I had that
Yeah,
problem.
same here.
I'd be willing to get more than one Netflix account. Just
Well, yeah,
have a
if you can
second
afford
house.
two houses, get a second Netflix. But there's a way, right? So I guess Hulu and Disney Plus are starting to crack down on it, right? And that's gonna affect me because I share my Disney Plus and Hulu account with other people, right? Like, hey, you give me your Netflix, I'll give you my Hulu and Disney Plus, and that's kind of how I've been rolling the past like 3 years, and it's worked perfectly, right? But now that they're starting to do it, the only way to beat this, right, is simply one thing. And I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, this is how you beat password the banning of password sharing, right? For the next like 6 months to a year, stop paying for it. Everybody just stop using the apps. It's gonna be hard, right? You're gonna have to go 6 months to a year without having anything. And once the numbers drop on these platforms for like Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, and stuff, they're going to have to bring back password sharing. That's the only way to do this. Like, once they start this ban and you guys continue to pay for these apps and you continue to pay the increases and all the stuff that like Netflix and HBO Max is doing, they're not going to get the message. And they're like, okay, they didn't care that we banned password sharing. Whatever, let's raise the price now, right? It's going to take a very big effort on a lot of people's part. You're going to have to go 6 months to a year without it, but it'll work. You just got to like not pay for it. I don't know how you feel, Sam, but
Honestly, I think it's ridiculous to have a company like Disney, who honestly has been putting out terrible product over the last 3 or 4 years since COVID really hit. Like, once they started creating these shows, like Disney as a whole kind of went downhill because they were all about quantity, quantity, quantity. And now they expect us to spend more money throughout our friend groups to bring us all this product that honestly just hasn't been very good.
It's
So
been very subpar, bro.
exactly, and I think it's just greed. I mean, we have so much of it in all industries, but a company that almost owns half the world, it seems like, in Disney asking for something like this is absolutely ridiculous. And I agree that if we could get a large sum of people
Hmm.
together to not pay for their subscriptions for, I don't think 6 months is enough. I think it would have to be like a year.
Yeah, a
But
year would.
I don't think it happens. I don't think we get enough people to make that change. But I mean, it would be great if we could. Um,
Because once those companies start to see that the numbers are going down, their subscriptions are going down, they're losing money, and they realize that's the reason. They're going, bro. Listen, guys, the consumer, we control everything, but for some reason, these companies have convinced us that they do. We're the consumer. We're the ones that pay for it, right? This is why they have a company.
exactly.
Once you guys realize that, oh, okay, they'll bring back password sharing. I don't think it's a smart move. Like especially what you just said, like for Disney and
Hulu.
Netflix and stuff, like not only are they raising prices, this was the way to beat cable back in the day, right? Like we got rid of cable and this was the easiest way to replace cable, right? Now it's just becoming the new cable.
Yeah, and like for me, I'm a creature of habit. I want to be able to access everything at once.
Hmm.
So like I pay an outrageous amount of money
I
every
bet
month.
you showed me your apps one time. I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah. I have like YouTube TV, I got Hulu, HBO, I got everything it feels like. And now I can't share that with my friends. That's part of it is I've always been like, "Hey, we can split the cost. You
hmm.
pay for these, I'll pay for these." Um Now I'm going to probably end up spending like $200 a month to get everything.
I remember one time I tried to barter with you. I was like, hey, give me a HBO Max and I'll give you Hulu and Disney Plus. I was hella trying to barter with this guy, bro.
It was like trading Pokemon cards.
Basically, or Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. Like, hey, give me a Blue Eyes White Dragon, I'll give you Exodia, dog.
My HBO is rarer than your Netflix, sorry.
And it's funny because like these apps, like you said, Disney Plus, the content isn't really worth the price you're asking for, right? Like I
Hulu
think,
too.
and Hulu has some good shows. I like Hulu for the shows, but you're right, everything else is just. And aren't they kind of merging Hulu and Disney Plus too now? Like you can get the shows on Disney Plus and.
Yeah, for the most part, I think that's what they're going for.
Well, that's ridiculous, bro. And HBO Max was the only one I thought was worth paying for because they did have fire movies on that platform. Like all the DC, Batman. If you wanted to watch Batman, that was the way.
Well, I think part of this whole thing is they're trying to compete with Netflix. I mean, Netflix last year was kind of on a downfall. They didn't have The Office anymore. They
Nope.
didn't have like I think they don't have Friends anymore either. Um so they've been taking off shows, but now they've been getting everything. It feels like all the good movies are going to Netflix. So I think competing with them, and Hulu and Disney also saw all the success that Netflix had with banning the
Mm-hmm.
password sharing.
Yep.
Like it's crazy. Their numbers skyrocketed once they did that because everyone. It's kind of like iPhone owners. I'll be upfront and say I'm not an iPhone guy.
Yeah, you have a
Uh,
good phone though, to say that.
it's like a bunch of sheep that are gonna go forward and they just want to buy this product. So, um, yeah, I don't know if we have a change or if that's in the books, but if we can get one, that'd be great.
I'm like holding my iPhone as he says iPhone user. I'm trying to,
I
I'm like
have
trying to hide
nothing
it.
against it, but
I'm like hiding my iPhone. Like, yeah, iPhone users, yeah. What are you talking? Yeah, speaking of Apple, we were gonna start this podcast off with you were gonna bring over your Apple Vision Pro.
no, it's the MetaQuest 3 that I have. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
spending $3,500
Yeah.
right now.
And the Simpsons may have been right, dude. So I saw this on Twitter. I still call it Twitter, by the way. I'm not calling it X.
Me either.
But I saw on Twitter they were like, "Hey, Simpsons predicted this again, right?" And I'll put the picture up here. it's hilarious because what this reminds me of is like everybody acts real boomerish about like new technology, right? And I'm assuming back in the day when like our grandparents and our parents had DVD players, they were like, "It's the end of the world, the Antichrist." You know, like every level of new technology ever, you've seen the current consumer be very scared. Everything's ending, right? I'm actually excited about the Apple Vision Pro. You know, I actually think it looks cool, but I have seen some cringy videos. Like there's this kid on the subway, and there's these people. That's probably what the future is going to look like.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. I saw a TikTok earlier today, which was this guy who had a Tesla truck,
Uh huh.
and he was just driving, and he had his MetaQuest on. He got out, and he was acting like Tony Stark, just moving these screens around. It looks so dorky to watch someone
In
use it.
public.
Like I just got my MetaQuest 3, and it's awesome. I love it. It's a movie theater anywhere I go. It's crazy. But my family is all like, "What are you doing around the house?" And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "I'm watching a movie, obviously." And
Didn't you say like, oh, these screen like you? Did you
yeah,
say that? Yeah, and you're like, oh, the screens are bigger than your TV.
yeah, exactly. I was in the kitchen watching a movie with like a screen that was 3 times the size of their screen,
Hmm.
and they just think I'm pointing at stuff and grabbing stuff, and they're like, "What the heck are you doing over there?"
And I mean, there's an understandable like reason to be somewhat. I mean, it's the fear is the funny part, right? Like the world's ending, the Antichrist. This is all gonna. And bro, listen, I I have a lot of friends who are artists, right? So they're scared of AI. They're skeptical. They're mad that like you can get a free picture when they're taking all their time to draw it, and that's understandable, right? But the future, I don't think you can run from it anymore, bro. Like I think AI is just one of those things where the more we try to run from it, the harder it's gonna hit at the end. And the boomerish behavior of like, I saw so many people online like the world's ending and this is like, the Antichrist. Come on, it's just a Vision Pro, dude. Like,
Right.
what you talking about? You know?
It's so cool though, all the stuff that you can do on it. I think it's outrageously overpriced, and if you're considering buying something like that, either get the MetaQuest or wait for another edition because they're gonna get cheaper. Like I have the Fold, the Samsung Fold. I remember when the first one came out, it was like $2,500.
That's insane, dude.
They're down to $1,800, and the features are 10 times better in just a couple iterations. So if you want something like that, just be patient.
I mean, dead ass, bro. I know I asked you yesterday if you've seen Black Mirror and you didn't,
No.
right? But there's an episode called San Junipero where like you can transfer your consciousness into like this virtual reality world, you know? And hopefully I live long enough to see this happen, but there's probably going to be a version of the Apple Vision Pro that like does something similar to that, right? And it's to the point where it's going to get so good. Like how would you be able to comprehend real life versus virtuality, and how would you be able to like what if that's what we're in right now, bro? We're in some Apple Vision Pro 33 that took us back to the 2000s, and now we're just like, you see what I'm saying? Like it's gonna get so good. Like how do we not know that that's what we're in right now?
I mean, honestly, like even on my MetaQuest 3, which is far from that, like go taking it off, it sometimes feels kind of jarring cuz
Yeah.
it's like you're entering a new world when you put it on cuz everything around you changes, your perception and uh everything. It feels like you're kind of in this different world. If you play a game in it, that's very jarring because, or like some of these videos, like there was this video of all these monarch butterflies, and you're slightly above the ground, so like standing is really weird because it feels like you're not gonna step on anything. Like it's
Really?
so real. It's
On your Meta Quest 3?
yeah.
Does the Meta Quest 3 still have that video game where like you go up in an elevator and jump off and then fall and do the
I'd
Iron Man
imagine
thing?
so, but I haven't really got to game a whole lot on it just because I've been so busy. But
Well, there's iPad kids and then the new version, like
it's the Meta Kids.
The Meta kids and the Apple. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that like I said, I live long enough to see it become like you could be in a literal football game, like you're the quarter height, you know, and then
Oh yeah. That game, I actually downloaded that one. I haven't got to play it yet.
Or there's a game called Commit a Crime Simulator. You know? You know, so like you could just take out all your like inner rage on the game, and then when you come back to real life, like suit and tie, dude. Suit and tie.
Exactly. And people are going to start working with these too. I think that this is going to be like a huge work tool
Like
uh,
in the offices and stuff.
in
Yeah.
offices because the screen real estate, you can't put that on a desk.
Nope.
Like it's 5 pounds and it gives me a movie theater, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can multitask better than ever with them. It's crazy.
It's like the Neuralink stuff, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things where all of us have one consciousness, and I'll be able to like instantly send you a message in my mind of my Vision Quest Pro. I mean, my Vision Pro.
I think that's what Elon's trying to do, not what Apple's trying to do.
So Elon, that can be, and that the boomerish takes about the Antichrist, that could be, hey, Elon, what are you doing?
What are you
Right?
doing?
Like Elon, hey, I don't want to be a single consciousness, bro. I don't want to like I like privacy, right? Like I don't want to be in my room and then like Braden, our mutual friend Braden's like trying to talk to me in my mind, right? And I can't escape it because it's Neuralink, right?
Yeah, and you're always sharing your thoughts. Everything you think gets posted onto Twitter or something.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like a thought, hey, I want to tweet this, and then it just instantly, bro, I can't, like, no.
Yeah, that would. I mean, social media already is so toxic, and there's so much bad stuff and stuff getting leaked.
That would make it worse, bro.
Yeah.
The one thing I would be excited for, though, is when, like, someone from another country tries to speak to you. This is probably where it's heading, where they'll speak to you, and the Neuralink will, like, translate it, and you can understand them instantly, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
The S24 already does that. It has the AI. So when you're on a phone call with someone who doesn't speak your language,
Yeah.
it translates on the call.
Oh.
Isn't that nuts?
This guy's trying to make me switch to Samsung now, bro. Like,
I think everyone should. But
I mean, and since you mentioned the iPhone thing, I haven't even touched my iPhone at all. Like, I'm scared. But
don't be scared.
don't be scared.
I
But
got
yeah,
you.
you guys comment below. Are you guys boomers? Do you hate technology? And if so, it's cool. I mean, I remember one time my great grandma had called me over to her house. It seemed like an emergency. Like I rushed over there. And when I showed up, it's like, how do you get this to press play? And I was like, oh yeah, it's right here, play button. I felt like a wizard. Like she made me feel like I was a magician, bro. Like I pressed the play button. Here's $50. I don't want 50 for
$50 for a play button.
for press and play. And in my head, I should be like, this is a business. I could start a business off this.
Find old people and just
Yeah.
press play on all their DVD players.
$50. Yeah, and like some of them would probably charge more. Like, here's 100 for your time, sir. Tip included.
You pressed rewind. Here's an extra 50.
Yeah. Literally, at that age, I should have been like, this is where the economy's heading. This is where, in the free market, we can make a business off this, right? So, but yeah, to end the night off, Sam, I was going to, not the night, it's literally daytime outside, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not
I usually shoot at night, so I'm kind of like discombobulated. But I was on TikTok, which you are on that platform. So if you want, I can link your TikTok below. Because
Yes.
guys, when I make the clips on TikTok, I'm going to be tagging Sam so that he can get the credit for being on the episodes, and you guys can follow him there too. We're trying to get his TikTok following up, so maybe he'll post.
Yeah, I might do some of the clips as well. I'm gonna start doing my own stuff here soon. I want to get really locked in. I mean, this.
Yeah, you should do like TikToks where you record yourself and then talk about like the sports as it's happening, like the instant takes.
Oh yeah.
Because like TikTok would be a good platform for that. I don't think I've seen that on TikTok, so that'd be a good avenue to explore.
Yeah, I might try that.
But I saw on TikTok, so it was about time travel, right? And it was talking about how like imagine if you went back in time, and you could, but when you get there, there's no one there, right? Like you go back to in time, but there's since this is like a weird time travel theory, you'd go back and there's like literally no one there, and I kind of started to chuckle because imagine, like I think I told you this at work. Imagine you're like, hey, I'm gonna go back in time and save my mom from dying or something like that, and you go back there and it's like literally no one there, and how creepy that would be. Yeah, like you get there, like the Flash or something like that, like, Mom, where are you at, Mom? And it's like everything's just like nothing there. I mean, to me, out of the possibilities of this theory of like time travel, which I think you probably could end up time traveling at some point, But the fact that nobody would be there, I don't want to do it, bro.
Honestly, if you think about it, like I don't know anything about time travel theory,
Oh, I
or
thought you invented it, bro. No,
I only dabble
you
in time.
devil in a little bit.
But like if you think about it, like there's a possibility that once we live a moment, that moment can never be lived again. So like if I were to travel to the future, to the past, there might not be anyone there because that moment's already been lived. So once they've already exited scene on the right, so it's just you back in that time. You're in the time, but no one else is there because you didn't travel with them.
That you just gave me the chills, bro. Because that makes sense. Like the moment's already been lived.
Exactly.
So okay, so in that sense, let's say you go to the future, right? Since that moment hasn't been lived yet, would the future still have nobody? Or that see the way that works is kind of scary because the going back in the past and having nobody there would make sense. A lot of people say that everything's happening at once. The past, future, and the present is all,
Yeah.
so the fact that I honestly would be more scared if we went to the future and there was nobody there.
Yeah, that sounds weirder. I couldn't explain that.
Yeah, we'd be like, wait, where's everybody at? And it's we only, let's say we only go like a year in the future.
Oh gosh, it's
Like
just like, oh, so we're ending in a year? Is it?
the boomers are like, we told you guys the Vision Pro was gonna end the world. We told you.
There's just everyone's in their house,
Yeah,
in the on their Meta, their Apple Vision.
everybody's just like walking around like this, like with their Vision
Zombies.
Pros. Just like, dude, man. Well, when we've spoken, I've spoken about time travel a lot on this podcast, and well, and they were more serious conversations, right? Because I felt like some of them had to be more serious, but for this one, it's just the thought that nobody would be there. It kind of, but there's this thing on TikTok. It's really popular. It's called like Dreamcore. Have you ever heard of Dreamcore?
Is that dream fans that get together and
Dreamcast. Are you talking about Dreamcast?
no dream like the YouTuber who got the cheater.
Oh, the one that like did the face reveal and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, the one that wants to take back his face reveal.
He can't do that now. He has to go
I
back in the
think there's
past.
a way. I think you could figure it out. AI.
That'd be crazy if he went and got his whole face reconstructed for nothing.
And just said, yeah, that wasn't me.
Yeah, that was. I'm a woman now, bro. So
You can't say that was me. I'm a woman.
yeah, I'm a woman who identifies as a Cowboys fan. So that wasn't me. But Dreamcore is like an aesthetic. Like I'll have to send it to you later. But essentially, it's just like this like when you look at these Dreamcore pictures and videos, like you feel like you've been there before, maybe in a dream, maybe in like mainly a dream. Like, like when you dream of certain things when you're asleep, like you're like, oh, I've been there before, but it's like creepy and weird and there was nobody there. That's kind of what this theory reminds me of, is just like some big, huge ploy for Dreamcore.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So, what time are we at, by the way?
We got time. We're good.
Okay.
We got like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. That was very, I usually don't ask the time, by the way. So next time you can like, you should bring a Nerf gun next time. And if
Yeah.
I ask the time like live on camera, you just shoot me with it or something.
Okay, I got you.
Because that means I'm gonna have to cut it out, though. You talking about? But yeah. Earlier I had mentioned that you're really big into like MMA and basketball, and your knowledge on those two makes me not want to be a fan of either one. That's a compliment, right? Like you clearly know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm addicted to sports. I don't know what it is. I've always wanted a career in. I'm not an athlete, so don't get it twisted anymore. Maybe back in middle school, you could have caught me catching some layups or something, but nowadays, definitely not. But yeah, I've always loved basketball, MMA, mixed martial arts. I've been training mixed martial arts since I was like 6 or 7. So, started with karate, done Muay Thai, so, done some jujitsu. So, and now I just am addicted to, the UFC. I watch all of it. PFL, One Championship, all the different
Yeah, your
organizations.
knowledge is crazy, bro. I'm like a fan of your knowledge.
Hey, I appreciate
What
that.
what's kind of annoying is that like when you tell people that we work with, like there's certain people that we've worked with in the past, and mainly they're like a third party company. Like you'll mention like, hey, I like what you just said. I train MMA, karate, right? And you said, bro, I want to fight, bro. Like the second Sam brings up anything about fighting, bro, literally anything, it's always like they. Like when like you have that one friend in school that like tries to show off in front of the girls, like, hey, bro, we should like fight right now, dog. It's like, bro, we're literally talking to women right now. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
And like that's what they do to you at work, bro. Like every time this guy mentions it, like, bro, I'm like 13-0, dog. I'm like 14. They start naming off numbers, like, bro, you're not 14-0.
You're not. No.
Just because you beat up your cousins, like that.
I'd probably have watched you fight if
No, we did work with one. I think his name was Surafel. We did work with somebody who was doing like mixed martial arts fight. He had video of it.
Yeah.
So like he was actually doing that. Everybody else, you're not 14-0.
Yeah.
Could we be honest? Like you're
Exactly.
not. Everybody wants to be John Bones Jones like without the coke, dude. Like you know what I mean?
That would be sick. Maybe without the wife beating too, but
Yeah. I mean maybe.
let's keep that out.
Yeah, let's keep that out. We could keep the coke part in, but the other stuff has to go, bro.
Yeah,
And I didn't know John Bones. Like I didn't know this till like maybe a couple years ago. He has brothers that played in the NFL.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that family just stacked, bro?
Oh,
What's going on with that family?
saucing. They got sauce in their Gerbers, you know,
And their Gerber. That's so hilarious, dude.
just like them Dagestanis.
Yeah, well, before we end the episode, because time constraints. Like I said in the beginning, guys. I want. I'm excited for this year because this was a good episode, by the way, Sam. Like we killed it. I think so.
I think so too.
And you know, I went 5 years without taking a break. I was week after week after week, clip after clip. I prided myself on that. Shit happens, bro. And I knew I knew that during the hiatus, I was like, I need to have a good co-host. I need to have somebody that vibes well, that knows what they're talking about. Me and him started talking at work. We do have some big goals, but for the moment, I just want you guys to next, just we're vibe, right? We're gonna vibe. Whatever happens, happens. And when he starts doing the stuff on his channel, I'm gonna help him with that, and then you guys can catch him there too. This is something that I do it for fun, but I also want to make a career and make money. Like I'm on the cusp of like doing that.
Yeah.
And like who wouldn't, like there's people who go to college. Like again, if this is my 5th year, there's people who go to college for like 8 years before they get a career, right?
Exactly.
So this is I would kind of compare this to me going to college, and you learn along the way, right? So I want you guys, like I said in the beginning, I want you guys to welcome Sam with open arms, because this this isn't easy, sitting in front of a mic like how you're doing your first time, like you know what I mean. Like this is kind of like, and you're potentially talking to like thousands of people.
Right.
I
That's
told you that
wild to
before.
me.
Yeah.
I've always like thought of these YouTubers and like Mr. Beast. How many views he gets? Like 100 million views on every video. That's like bigger than any football stadium. That's bigger than most countries.
Yeah.
All watching him.
He
That
gets
is
more
crazy.
views than like the legacy media channels.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and yeah, like I said in the beginning, guys, you take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself first, no one will. This world's not nice to people with, and especially to men with mental health issues. And yeah, we'll be back next week. And yeah, you'll catch us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels. I'll link his stuff below for the stuff that he wants me to link below. Spotify, Apple Podcast still. And until next time, peace.
Peace.